So we are taking the methods of preparations of alkene halides. So now we have to consider the second method from hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons are the compounds which contains the carbon-hydrogen linkages. The examples are the alkanes, alkenes, and that of the alkynes. So in that case, first we have to consider the halogenation of alkenes. Now, when we are preparing the alkene halides from the hydrocarbons, there are two types of hydrocarbons, saturated as well as the unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now, when we consider the saturated hydrocarbons, which does not contain any multiple bond, such type of hydrocarbons are called the saturated hydrocarbons. The example is the alkene. Which are called the unsaturated hydrocarbons, the hydrocarbons which contains at least one multiple bond, that is the double bond or that of the triple bond, then these are called the unsaturated hydrocarbons. So there are two types of hydrocarbons. So first we have to consider the halogenation of alkanes, and alkanes are the saturated hydrocarbon. Now when we consider the halogenation, it means it is the reaction with the halogen, and when this saturated hydrocarbons, that is the alkanes, reacts with the halogen, the product form will be a alkyl halide. That is, we can obtain the alkyl halides by the action of the halogens on the alkenes. But this is not a convenient method for the preparation of the alkyl halides, or this is not a convenient method for the preparation of the alkyl chlorides. Why? Because in that case, if you observe the reaction, the methane reacts with the chlorine, and there will be a substitution of one of the hydrogen atom from the methane by the one of the chlorine atom to form a CH3Cl, and byproduct form is the HCl. Now in that case, the product form, that is the methyl chloride. This methyl chloride, if there will be a presence of excess of chlorine in the reaction mixture, this chlorine further replaces hydrogen atom from the product form, that is the CH3Cl is the product form. From that, if there is a presence of excess of chlorine, one of the chlorine atom replaces another hydrogen atom from the CH3Cl, and it removes the CH2Cl. Now if there will be a presence of chlorine, it further removes or replaces the hydrogen atom to form a product, that is the CHCl3, that is called the chloroform. And if there will be a presence of chlorine further removes or replaces one of the hydrogen atom from that particular product form, that is the chloroform, to give a carbon tetrafluoride. So this reaction becomes continuous, and in that reaction there will be a number of products are obtained. And what is our aim? Our aim, we want to prepare only the methyl chloride, but in addition to methyl chloride, there will be a formation of methylene dichloride, chloroform, then carbon tetrafluoride. So there will be another products which are formed that we are not required, and the separation of this unrequired product from a reaction mixture is difficult, and therefore this is not a convenient method for the preparation of alkyl chlorides. Now the second method, by the addition of hydrogen halides to alkenes. Now this is the addition reaction in which the hydrogen halides, these are also called the haloacids, which reacts with the alkenes. Alkenes are the unsaturated hydrocarbons because they contain the double bond. These alkenes are more reactive as compared to the alkanes. Why? Because they contain the double bond, and when you consider there will be presence of double bond, one is sigma bond and another is pi bond, and the pi bond is weak as compared to the sigma bond, and therefore it gets easily break, and therefore the alkenes are more reactive as compared to the alkenes, and therefore we are taking the reaction of hydrogen halides to the alkenes. Hydrogen halides, there are different types of hydrogen halides, that is the general formula is the HX, that is the hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, and that of the hydrogen iodide. Now when we consider these hydrogen halides, addition of hydrogen halides to the alkenes, there are two types of alkenes, symmetrical alkenes and that of the unsymmetrical alkenes. Which are called the symmetrical alkenes, if on the both the side of the double bond same groups are attached, then it is called the symmetrical alkenes. This is the example of symmetrical alkene, because on both the sides of double bond the groups are same, that is the CH2 and CH2, and therefore it is the symmetrical alkene. which are called the unsymmetrical alkenes. If on the both the side of the multiple bond, if the groups are different, then these are called the unsymmetrical alkene. In this example, on the one side of the double bond there will be CH3 CH group, and on the another side there will be CH2 group, and therefore it is the unsymmetrical alkenes. So there are two types of, it is symmetrical and that of the unsymmetrical. And the reactivity towards the hydrogen halides is different for symmetrical alkenes as well as for the unsymmetrical alkenes. So first we are considering the reaction of or addition of hydrogen halides to symmetrical alkenes. The example is when ethene reacts with the hydrogen bromide, it gives the CH3CH2Br, that is the ethyl bromide. The product obtained is the ethyl bromide. Now this is the addition reaction. How there will be addition will be expressed. Now our reagent is the HBr. This HBr adds across the multiple bond. This is the active site for the reaction. That is the multiple bond. So across this multiple bond, this reagent gets added. In that case, what happens? There will be a breaking of pi bond. There will be a breaking of bond between the hydrogen and that of the bromine, and there will be a formation of bond between the carbon and hydrogen and carbon and bromine, and therefore it will become the CH3 CH2 Br. Okay. So in that case, the product obtained by the addition of the hydrogen bromide across the multiple bond, and our product obtained will be the same. Now in that case, the product obtained by both the sides, whether HBr added or whether the orientation of HBr like this or BRH, in that case the product obtained will be same. If we are considering the opposite to that, then there will be, if we are considering BRH, then there is breaking of pi bond, there will be a formation of carbon bromine bond, carbon hydrogen bond. In that case the product obtained is the BrCH2 CH3. So there is a second possibility. Now if you observe both the products are same. This is ethyl bromide, this is also the ethyl bromide. So the products obtained when we are using the symmetrical alkenes with the halo acids or hydrogen halides, the product obtained will be same. Now next we have to consider the addition of hydrogen halides to unsymmetrical alkenes. When we are considering the unsymmetrical alkenes, when this HBr is added across the unsymmetrical alkenes, there will be a formation of two different products. And when there will be a formation of two different products, which is the major product, that we have to decide, and that we can decide it by using the Marconi curves. For example, if we are considering the unsymmetrical alkene is the propene, CH3 CH double bond CH2 plus HBr. So that is the reaction of hydrogen bromide on the propene. Now as you know that in the addition reaction, the reagent always add across the multiple bond. So active site for the reaction is the multiple bond. So HBr gets added. There are two possibilities. There are two orientations of HBr. Whether this molecule comes like this HBr or it may be a BRH. So first we consider the HBr. Now in that case, what happens? There will be addition reaction. There will be a breaking of pi bond. There will be breaking of bond between the hydrogen and bromine, and there will be formation of bond between carbon and hydrogen and carbon and bromine. Now in that case, the product form will be a CH3 CH2 CH2 Br. That is the first product. Now if the orientation of the HBr molecule is opposite to first one, that is BRH, in that case the addition will be takes place. So pi bond gets break. There will be formation of sigma bond between the carbon and bromine and carbon and hydrogen, and there will be breaking of bromine hydrogen bond. So what is the product for CH3 CHBr and that of the CH3? So now you have to observe these two products are same or different. These two products are different because one is the 1 bromopropane and second one is the 2 bromopropane. Because in the first product the bromine is attached to the terminal carbon atom, and in the second product the bromine is attached to the central carbon atom, and therefore this is the 1 bromopropane and this is the 2 bromopropane. The names are different and therefore these two products forms are also different. Now if there will be a possibility of formation of two different product, we have to decide which is the major product. One will be a major, and experimentally it is found that the 2 bromopropane is the major product and 1 bromopropane is the minor product. But how we can decide theoretically which one will be our major product? So for that you have to use the Markovnikov rule. What is the statement of Markovnikov rule? According to the Markovnikov rule, if there will be addition of unsymmetrical substrate to the unsymmetrical reagent, in that case the negative part of the adding reagent attached to that carbon atom which is having a lesser number of hydrogen atoms. That is the Markovnikov rule. And when we are applying the Markovnikov rule, in that case the negative part of the halogen halo acid or hydrogen bromide this is the negative part and this will be a positive part. And according to the Markovnikov rule, the negative part of the adding reagent attached to that carbon atom having lesser number of hydrogen atoms. Now when we consider the CH3 CH double bond CH2, in that case active site is the multiple bond, and therefore there will be a one CH and there will be CH2. There are two hydrogen atoms to attach to this carbon atom, and to this carbon atom there is only one hydrogen atom. And therefore according to the Markovnikov rule, the negative part of the adding reagent attached to that carbon atom having lesser number of hydrogen atoms, and therefore bromine gets attached to this carbon atom and hydrogen gets attached to this carbon atom, and in that way the product obtained is the major product. So we have to decide with CH3 CHBr CH3. So this will be a major product. So in this way we can apply the Markovnikov rule to decide which one is the major product. Now there is another rule. When we are using the peroxide with the HBr, the product obtained are not according to the Markovnikov rule. That the product obtained according to the anti-Markovnikov rule, which is opposite to the Markovnikov rule. When we are using the HBr and that of the peroxide, in the absence of peroxide, which is the major product, that is the 2-bromopropane is the major product. But when we are using the peroxide here with the HBr, this is not a major product. This is the product obtained according to the anti-Markovnikov rule, which says that when there will be addition of unsymmetrical substrate to the unsymmetrical reagent, the negative part of the adding reagent attached to that carbon atom having more number of hydrogen atom, and therefore this bromine gets attached to this carbon atom because it is having two hydrogen atoms, and hydrogen, which is the positive part, gets attached to this carbon atom which is having the lesser number of hydrogen atoms, which is opposite to the Markovnikov rule, and therefore it is also called the anti-Markovnikov rule. And therefore when you have to remember, when you are using the HBr with the peroxide, the addition takes place according to the anti-Markovnikov rule, and according to the anti-Markovnikov rule, the negative part of the adding reagent attached to that carbon atom having more number of hydrogen atoms. So now according to the anti-Markovnikov rule, which will becomes the major product, so the product becomes the CH3, hydrogen attached to this carbon atom, so CH2, and then CH2 here. So this will becomes the major product, and this will become the minor product. So that thing you have to remember. So when you are using the peroxide with HBr, in the absence of peroxide, the major product is the 2-bromopropane, and in the presence of peroxide with HBr, the major product is the 1-bromopropane. Next method for the preparation of alkyl halides is the halogen exchange. So by using the exchange of halogen atoms, we can obtain the alkyl halides. For the preparation of alkyl iodides, we can use the alkyl chlorides or that of the alkyl bromides. So when alkyl chlorides reacts with the sodium iodide, there will be an exchange of the halogen atoms takes place, and then we can obtain the alkyl iodide. For example, alkyl chlorides reacts with the sodium iodide in the presence of acetone. It gives, there will be exchange of Cl and iodine. So iodine attached to this alkyl group and chlorine gets attached to the sodium, and therefore the product obtained is the Ri plus NaCl. Now in that case, the byproduct form which is present in the solid state, and therefore it gets easily precipitated from the solution, and we can separate it by the filtration, and we can obtain the alkyl iodide in the pure form. So this is one of the benefits of this method. There will be exchange of halogen atoms, and therefore it is called a halogen exchange, and this reaction is called the Finkelstein reaction. Now the second, the alkyl chlorides also can be obtained from the alkyl chlorides and that of the alkyl bromides by the halogen exchange. And for that, we can use the different types of alkyl chlorides, salts of fluorides. There is such like AgF, Ag2F2, AsF3, SbF2. So out of that, we are using the AgF, where AgF reacts with the silver fluoride reacts with the alkyl chloride. There will be exchange of chlorine and fluorine will be takes place, and fluorine gets attached to alkyl group, so it will use the Rf, alkyl fluoride, and the chlorine gets attached to Ag, and therefore there will be a formation of AgCl which is present in the solid state. Downward direction arrow represent the solid state, and this reaction is called the Schwarz reaction. So in this way, by the exchange of halogen atoms, we can prepare the alkyl